Week 3, I actually did every day as it came, just like week 1. And I've been having some cop-out days where I did some simpler drawings. Getting a little burnout, starting to feel that monthly challenge strain, I guess. I'm just ready to start drawing not prompted stuff again. But let's get into the drawings, I guess. So for day 15, we've got Mysterious Fungus Collector. Didn't really go so heavy on the mysterious part. I saw Fungus Collector and I thought about mushroom Pokemon. So I drew a Pokemon trainer with a bunch of mushroom Pokemon. Not all of them, not all of the mushroom themed, but just some. Well, I really like these guys, and I just felt like you gotta go classic, gotta go Gen 1, and then I just drew as many as I felt like, and then I named this trainer Michael, but it's spelled like the beginning of mycelium, like the, you know, the root system of a fungus. So it's a big old nerd pun there, because that's how Pokemon names work. So unfortunately I did not film this one because I felt like not sketching the image, because I had nothing really in mind for this one. So I didn't feel like sketching something out. I felt like just going right in with ink. And I should have filmed, but I was gonna just like experiment, and then I ended up liking what I got. So oops, sorry I didn't film it. But what I did here was I took a dip pen, this nib in this holder, and just India ink, and this nib has like a well to hold more ink on the back, and so I was able to, by using it incorrectly, get some super thick lines. Like normally you can get a good amount of line variation thick to thin with the nib itself. Like the nib itself has some flexibility to it, but I found that if I went a really low angle, I could get these super thick lines that dropped off a lot of ink. So I did all the thin lines to start, and then I accidentally did one of these thick lines and decided I really liked how they looked, how they have a kind of like ragged effect. And then I took just a brush with some water, and by this point the thin lines had dried and only the thick lines still had wet ink, and India ink is waterproof once it's dry. So I knew that I could make a wash without disturbing the thin lines, and kind of drag out some of the ink from these big thick lines. So I really like how this came out. Didn't do any planning at all, really. Just kind of played it by ear or by hand. I don't know. But he's not really fat or thin. He doesn't really have a body. He's just kind of this amorphous cape thing. So kind of copped out on that one too. I've been focusing more on the Drawtober side than the Inktober side, prompt-wise, just because I find them a little more, I guess, easy to go off of. Like, I'll take, since the Drawtober ones are more specific, if I want to get the full Drawtober month, I have to do these. Whereas you don't have to do the Inktober prompt every day for it to count as Inktober. They're just there for suggestions if you need it. So I mainly go with the Drawtober and just take the Inktober as a suggestion if I need it. So like for this one, I was like, okay, Daddy Longlegs can be there's like 3 different things that are named Daddy Longlegs. One of them's an arachnid that's not a spider. One of them is a spider, and then one's a cane fly, I believe. But so I thought graceful spider. I wanted this kind of like dapper black tie, ballroom dancing spider, and I played around with some cross hatching that I follow a bunch of other artists on Instagram, and I saw, oh, I wish I could remember who did this kind of hatching. I'll put it in the, like, I'll add a title in the video that says who it is. Sorry if the zoom or lighting changed at any point during this, because I just went get dinner. We ordered something and it came in, so I had to go eat because I was dying. So I think I was talking about hatching, and of course while I was gone I still didn't look up who this was that I was emulating with the cross hatching. So I will put it in the video as text on screen and in the description for the inspiration for this type of hatching. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this. It's filthy, the devil's minion. Dustin suggested that I draw a minion from Despicable Me, or minions, or any object that you can buy at Walmart that has minions on it, and I hate that I drew this, but it exists now, and it's in my sketchbook, and it's across from the drawing I really like. It is tragic, and I feel filthy for having drawn it, and that's all I'm going to say about that. This one, I used a pen that I just bought the other day at our art store. It's just like a Fineliner, but it's in Payne's Gray, and I really like Payne's Gray because I like cool grays and grays that aren't completely desaturated. And I had tested it on my swatch page for Inktober way back here and found out that it was not waterproof, and so I said maybe not, as in maybe I'm not going to use it. But I ended up deciding to use that to my advantage. I originally just, this is Cloud and Conjured Familiar, by the way. I ended up drawing this, not planning on going over with water, but I remembered that it kind of separated into some cool like blues and purples and gave some cool effects. So after I drew all this, I went over with just some plain water and just a regular brush and kind of washed out some areas, and then went over to make some crisp lines again on top. And I really like how some of these colors came out. I had fun doing some more loose effects with this one. Then let me turn this. For Deep and Candlelit Gravekeeper, this was actually the first thing that came to mind, was Dampé from Legend of Zelda, specifically Ocarina of Time, which I still need to finish playing. Ocarina, whatever suits you. I don't know the correct pronunciation. I say Ocarina. And originally I wanted to draw Dampé like in his ghost form after the time skip, so that it could fit the deep prompt. But first of all, he doesn't have candles. He has a lamp and torches, but no candles down there. So that didn't work. I could have just made candles happen, but I didn't want to fudge it too much. But then I noticed that in his little house, hut, whatever, in the graveyard, he has an unlit candle on his desk, kind of off to the side here. And I decided to draw him writing in his diary that you find as Link to go find his treasure in his grave, etc., etc. If you've played the game, you probably know what I'm talking about. So deep is kind of abstract here because the treasure is very deep under the graveyard. It's a little bit of a stretch, but whatever. And I played around with washes from here and only a little bit of line. I wanted to work kind of loose with this one too. And then today, Saturday, day 21, I know I complain about this in every video, but I do have a lot of joint pain, and especially the pain in my wrists makes it hard to do art some days, or if not most days, which sucks because I'm an artist. That's what I like to do. That's what I want to do as a career, and so it sucks when it hurts to do the thing you love to do. But today's prompt combo was Furious and Poisoned Apple, and I didn't want to go the obvious Snow White route. That just felt like a little too obvious to me. So I went with something I knew would be simple to draw, which Pokemon. When in doubt, if you don't know what to draw, drawing Pokemon is always pretty fun. So I have these two very hungry Pokemon, and this is a Lepa berry, which is, you know, an anagram of apple, so I figured it was close enough. And I just used a Sharpie for this because I did not have the energy for a more fine detail drawing today. I'm sorry, I know I complain about this in every video. I'm kind of a broken record at this point, but some days you just gotta stop with what you can do without hurting yourself too much. So there's week 3. Hopefully week 4 and the last couple of days will go well. I think I'll do a week 4 summary, and then with the last 3 days I won't do a video of just them. I'll do like the whole month, like at a glance. Like I'll focus on those last 3, but I'll also talk about what I feel like I learned during the month and all that fun stuff. So I don't have as much footage for this week because I didn't film this. I didn't film this because I do not care for it. Don't remember if I filmed all of this. I know I filmed some of it. I definitely didn't film the sketch. This one I filmed just the inking part, and this one I believe I filmed. But which I should remember because that was earlier today. I'm almost positive I filmed that. So hope you, this is a week of 2 Pokemon drawings also. Hope you like Pokemon and Legend of Zelda, and I guess Minions. But if you like Minions, please don't expect more of that from me because I don't like them. So good luck to everybody else who's doing this again, and wish me luck. Starting to get that burnout. Bye.